G'day and welcome. Today we're taking a gentle journey not across vast oceans or sprawling deserts, but over a quiet jewel nestled in the heart of Germany. We find ourselves floating as if on a soft thermal above the city of Münster. Located in the North Rhine-Westphalia region, this is a place where history breathes through cobblestone streets and life moves at a more considered, more peaceful pace. From our unique vantage point, suspended in the calm morning air, the world below unfolds like a beautifully detailed map. The usual hustle and bustle of a city is muted, transformed into a gentle, rhythmic pulse that invites you to simply watch and breathe and be. Let's begin our slow ascent, rising ever so slightly higher. The early morning light, a soft golden wash, spills across the landscape, catching the tops of ancient trees and the steepled roofs of churches that have watched over this city for centuries. Below us, the world is a tapestry of terracotta tiles, lush green parks, and the glint of water. Münster is often called the bicycle capital of Germany, and even from this height, you can see the evidence thin, dark lines of cycle paths weaving through the city like delicate threads, connecting one peaceful corner to another. It is a city built for people, for slow movement, and for quiet appreciation of its enduring beauty. As we drift, the sounds of the city are distant, a soft hum that does not disturb the tranquility of our flight. Now, our gentle flight path guides us towards the very core of Münster, its historic and commercial soul, the Prinzipalmarkt. From our elevated position, this famous market street appears as a grand, curving avenue flanked by magnificent gabled houses. Each building stands shoulder to shoulder, a proud lineup of architectural history. Their distinct pointed facades, some intricately detailed and others elegantly simple, create a stunning rhythmic pattern against the sky. The arcades below, which at ground level provide shelter for shoppers and cafe-goers, look like a continuous shadowed ribbon tying the entire scene together. It is a view that speaks of centuries of commerce, community, and daily life. The colors here are a feast for the eyes, a palette of earthy tones and rich history. The deep reds and browns of the brickwork, the cool grey of the slate roofs, and the occasional splash of painted plaster create a warm and inviting mosaic. The cobblestones of the square, polished smooth by countless footsteps, horses, and bicycles over the ages, glisten in the morning sun like a river of stone. We can see tiny figures moving below, their pace unhurried as they meander through the square. At the northern end of this spectacular street, a formidable structure commands our attention, the St. Lamberti Church, or Lambertikirche. Its soaring steeple acts as a powerful anchor for the entire scene, a Gothic masterpiece reaching for the heavens. From our vantage point, we can clearly see the three iron cages hanging from the tower, a stark and chilling reminder of the city's turbulent past during the Münster Rebellion. Our flight now carries us just a short distance away, towards two immense, powerful structures that have dominated Münster's skyline for over 750 years. We are approaching the St. Paulus Dom, the city's magnificent cathedral. From the air, its sheer scale is breathtaking. The building is a colossal cruciform, a grand statement of faith carved from sandstone. Its two imposing Romanesque towers stand like twin sentinels at the western entrance, solid, square, and unyielding. They seem to root the entire city to the earth, ancient guardians watching over the generations. The green copper of their roofs provides a striking contrast against the warm, pale stone of the walls. As we circle slowly, the cathedral's intricate form reveals itself. We can see the long nave, the transepts extending like arms, and the rounded apse at the eastern end. The roof is a complex landscape of its own, a series of peaks and valleys that speak to the immense and complicated structure beneath. Surrounding the cathedral is the Domplatz, the cathedral square, which from our perspective looks like a wide, open courtyard, giving the colossal building space to breathe. On market days, this square would be a vibrant kaleidoscope of colorful stalls. But today, it is a quiet, contemplative space, accentuating the serene grandeur of the church at its center. One of the most remarkable features visible from our aerial perch is the astronomical clock, housed within a special annex on the southern side of the ambulatory. While we cannot see its intricate face from here, we can appreciate the structure that protects this medieval marvel. It's a subtle reminder that this building is more than just a place of worship. It is a repository of science, art, and time itself. Now we shift our gaze, moving from the dense historic core to the remarkable feature that encircles it. We are now floating above the Promenade, a unique and beautiful green belt that wraps around Münster's old town like a protective emerald embrace. From the air, its design is strikingly clear, a wide, continuous ring of parkland where a medieval fortress wall once stood. The path is lined with a double row of ancient linden trees, their lush canopies forming a magnificent green tunnel that stretches for nearly 5 kilometers. It is a living, breathing monument to the city's forward-thinking decision to transform fortifications into a public space for leisure and connection. As we glide along its length, we see the life it holds. The Promenade is the city's main artery for cyclists and pedestrians, and even from this height, we can see the steady, gentle flow of people moving along its shaded paths. It's a river of motion, but a slow and peaceful one. Bicycles glide effortlessly, walkers stroll at a leisurely pace, and people sit on benches, simply enjoying the tranquility. This green ring is not just a transportation route, it is a social space, a place for recreation, and a sanctuary from the urban world it encloses. It perfectly encapsulates Münster's philosophy of a life lived in harmony with nature. The promenade is punctuated by beautiful sights along its course. Here and there we can see remnants of the old city defenses, like the Bodenturm, a sturdy stone tower that now stands peacefully amidst the greenery, its original defensive purpose long since obsolete. We drift over small bridges that cross the remnants of the old moat, their arches reflected in the still water below. The path weaves past beautifully manicured gardens and open lawns where people might be picnicking or playing. It is a masterful piece of urban planning, seamlessly integrating nature into the very fabric of the city, creating a clear and beautiful boundary between the historic center and the newer districts beyond. Our flight now takes us just southwest of the city center, over a vast, shimmering expanse of water that acts as Münster's aquatic playground. This is the Aasee, a large man-made lake that stretches out before us like a sheet of polished silver under the morning sky. From our aerial perspective, its gentle, curving shores are fringed with lush reeds and mature trees, creating a soft, natural border. The lake is a haven of tranquility, a place where the city comes to escape, to play, and to connect with the calming presence of water. Its surface is a mirror, reflecting the blue of the sky and the puffy white clouds drifting lazily above. Dotted across the lake's surface are the tiny, bright white triangles of sailboats. They move with a slow, graceful elegance, their sails catching the gentle breeze as they tack back and forth across the water. We can also see the long, thin shapes of rowing sculls gliding through the water, their oars dipping in perfect, silent unison. Kayakers and paddleboarders add their own slow, rhythmic movements to the scene. The Aasee is a place of quiet activity, where the only sounds are the lapping of water against the shore, the call of waterfowl, and the gentle whisper of the wind. It is a picture of perfect, leisurely recreation. Surrounding the lake are sprawling parks and open green spaces, seamlessly connected to the water's edge. We can see wide, grassy lawns, perfect for sunbathing or a family picnic. Winding paths follow the shoreline, inviting walkers, joggers, and cyclists to enjoy the scenic route. In one area, we can spot the giant pool balls, a famous sculpture by Claes Oldenburg, which from this height look like colossal marbles scattered playfully on the grass. The integration of art, nature, and recreation is a hallmark of the Aasee, making it not just a lake, but a comprehensive cultural and leisure landscape for the entire city. Our gentle aerial drift now brings us to the northwestern edge of the old town, where the promenade opens up to reveal a truly magnificent structure. We are now floating above the Schloss Münster, the former Prince Bishop's palace. From the sky, its grandeur is immediately apparent. The palace is a vast, symmetrical masterpiece of Baroque architecture, its long, elegant facade stretching out in a gentle curve. Built from a beautiful combination of pale Baumberg sandstone for the details and deep red brick for the walls, its colors are warm and inviting. The central building is flanked by 2 projecting wings, creating a grand courtyard that faces the city. The sheer scale and perfect symmetry of the Schloss are best appreciated from our elevated viewpoint. The building's design is a study in Baroque harmony and order. The roof is a complex sea of slate tiles, punctuated by rows of dormer windows that look like sleepy eyes gazing out over the grounds. In the center, a large, ornate gable rises above the main entrance, topped with statues that seem to survey their domain. The palace is not just a building, it is a statement of power, elegance, and artistic vision, a relic from an era of princely grandeur that has now been repurposed for a noble, modern cause. Today, this splendid palace is not home to royalty, but to knowledge. It serves as the main administration building for the University of Münster, one of Germany's largest and most respected universities. This transformation from a symbol of aristocratic power to a public institution of learning is a powerful story in itself. We can imagine the thousands of students who pass through its grand halls every day, their youthful energy infusing the historic building with new life and purpose. Behind the Schloss, a hidden world of green unfolds. We are now looking down upon the botanical garden, a lush and meticulously maintained oasis. We now guide our flight back towards the heart of the city, to the Prinzipalmarkt, to focus on one building of immense historical significance. We are hovering above the Rathaus, Münster's historic city hall. While it stands among the other proud gabled houses, its facade is exceptionally ornate, a breathtaking example of high Gothic architecture. From our aerial perspective, we can admire its magnificent gable, which rises in a series of intricate lace-like stone pinnacles towards the sky. It is a declaration of civic pride and prosperity, a jewel set within the crown of the market square. Its delicate stonework seems almost too fine to have been carved by human hands. This building, however, is famous not just for its beauty, but for the world-changing event that took place within its walls. It was here, in the famous Hall of Peace, or Friedenssaal, that the Peace of Westphalia was signed in 1648, ending the devastating 30 Years' War. As we float above, we can almost feel the weight of that history. This building is a monument to diplomacy, to the painstaking negotiation that brought an end to one of Europe's longest and most brutal conflicts. The Rathaus is therefore more than just a city hall. It is a symbol of peace that resonates far beyond the borders of Münster, earning it the title City of Peace. The story of the Rathaus is also one of incredible resilience. The building was almost completely destroyed by bombing in the Second World War, its magnificent facade reduced to rubble. Yet the citizens of Münster, in an extraordinary act of collective will, chose to rebuild it not in a modern style, but as an exact replica of the original. From our vantage point, the restoration is seamless. The building appears as if it has stood untouched for centuries. This act of reconstruction was a powerful statement about the city's identity and its deep connection to its history. It was a refusal to let its most cherished symbols be erased. As our journey continues, we begin to appreciate the broader cityscape, looking beyond the most famous landmarks to see how the city as a whole fits together. From our high vantage point, the blend of old and new in Münster is particularly striking. The historic old town, with its dense network of medieval streets and terracotta roofs, forms a clearly defined core. Encircling it is the green ribbon of the Promenade, and beyond that, the city expands outwards in a more modern, orderly fashion. Yet even in the newer districts, the scale remains human. There are no towering skyscrapers to disrupt the skyline. Instead, we see pleasant residential areas with ample green spaces. The city's modern architecture often pays quiet respect to its historical context. We can spot newer buildings that use brick and sandstone, echoing the materials of the old town, or designs that incorporate gabled roofs in a contemporary style. One prominent example we can see is the LWL Museum of Art and Culture, with its clean lines and bright, airy courtyards, sitting respectfully next to the ancient cathedral. There is a sense of conversation between the centuries, a dialogue between ancient stones and modern glass and steel. This is not a city where the new aggressively replaces the old, but where it finds a way to coexist in harmony. This harmony is also evident in the city's infrastructure. We can trace the paths of tram lines and modern roads that efficiently connect the outer districts, yet they seem to defer to the pedestrian and bicycle-friendly nature of the city's heart. The commitment to sustainable transport is visible everywhere, in the vast number of bicycles parked in neat rows and the dedicated lanes that make cycling the most convenient way to travel. This focus on green mobility contributes significantly to the city's calm atmosphere, reducing noise and pollution and fostering a sense of community and well-being that is palpable even from the air. From above, Münster reveals itself as a thoughtfully curated city. It feels planned, but in an organic, considerate way. It has absorbed the lessons of its past, both its triumphs and its traumas, and used them to build a present that is peaceful, prosperous, and deeply pleasant to live in. Our time in the sky is now drawing to a close. We begin our slow, gentle descent, the details of the city below growing sharper and more defined. The terracotta roofs resolve into individual tiles, the treetops into distinct leaves, and the tiny figures of people into individuals going about their day. As we drift lower, the soft hum of the city becomes a little clearer, a gentle symphony of life. The feeling is not one of an ending, but of a quiet return, a soft landing after a peaceful and enlightening journey. Our flight has revealed more than just buildings and streets. It has revealed the very soul of Münster. What we have seen from above is a city that has perfected the art of balance. It balances its profound history with a vibrant and youthful present, thanks in large part to its university. It balances grand, monumental architecture with intimate human-scale spaces. It balances the built environment of stone and brick with the natural world of parks, trees, and water. This equilibrium is the source of its deep-seated tranquility. It is a city that feels comfortable in its own skin, proud of its past but not trapped by it, and optimistic about its future without being frantic. The overwhelming impression left by our aerial tour is one of peace. It's a peace born from resilience, the peace of a city that has been destroyed and has chosen to rebuild with love and care. It's the peace of a city that values community, nature, and a slower, more deliberate pace of life. The decision to turn defensive walls into a green promenade for everyone to enjoy speaks volumes. The commitment to making the bicycle king is not just an environmental policy, it is a philosophy of life. Münster is a city that invites you to slow down, to look around, and to breathe. As our journey ends and our feet are metaphorically back on the ground, the images from our flight will linger. The proud gables of the Prinzipalmarkt, the twin towers of the Dom, the shimmering surface of the Aasee, and the endless green of the Promenade. These are the elements of Münster's timeless charm. It is a city that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Its beauty and serenity speak for themselves. It has been a true privilege to share this gentle flight with you, exploring the quiet, enduring magic of a very special German city. Thank you for joining me.